Hello guys, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you very much for stopping by. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please kindly do so, for that is the encouragement I get in putting up these lovely videos. Alright, in this tutorial, we'll be learning how to make this beautiful, lovely trouser. All you have to do is to watch till the end so that you won't miss out on any tips. Okay, so that you won't miss out on any tips that you are going to use to make this beautiful trouser. Okay, let's get to the working table. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to make that beautiful basket trouser you are seeing on the screen. Okay, in our last tutorial, we learned how to draft a fitted trouser pattern, and this is it. Okay, so we are going to be using that pattern to get this beautiful design trouser. Okay, so we are going to be modifying this pattern. So if you've not watched that video on how to draft this fitted trouser pattern, you should go and watch it so that you can join us in this tutorial. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing basically is that I'm going to trace the front pattern on another paper, and I'm also going to trace the back pattern on another paper. Okay, so in this pattern we have the front and back pattern. So if you watched the previous tutorial on how to draft a fitted trouser pattern, you will understand how we get there. Okay, so guys, I'm done tracing the front and back pattern out, and this is how it looks. This is the front and here is the back. Okay, here is the back. So what we are going to be doing is to modify both of them to suit our design. Okay, so we are starting with the front pattern. So to modify this in order to suit our design, first of all, when we drafted this pattern, the length we used was our side waist to ankle. Okay, if you've not watched my video on how to take a proper trouser measurement, you should go and watch it so that you understand my terms. Okay, so while we draft this, we use side waist to ankle as the length, but for this design we are going to be using our side waist to floor. Okay, because this is going to be free, it's not going to be fitted. So first of all, I'm going to be extending the length of my trouser to side waist to floor. So my side waist to floor is 46. So the side waist to floor I'm working with is 46 inches. So I'm going to be marking it all the way. Okay, let me. So I'm working. So my side waist to floor is 45 inches. So I'm marking 45 inches all the way. And that that is the first modification we are going to be doing. So once I mark it, I will extend my line like that. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to come to the neck. I'm going to be adding 1 inch on both sides of the neck. Okay, I'm going to mark it like that. Then I'll come to the hem. I'm going to mark 1.5 inch on both sides. So it depends on you. This is not a static measurement. It depends on how free you want it to be. If you want it to be more freer, you can add more. Okay, so after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to determine where I want that basket to start. So for me, I'm going to make mine 15 inches. So if you want your own longer or shorter, it's up to you, but I'm using 15 inches for this tutorial. So this 15 inches is where the basket is going to start. I hope you are understanding this. If you don't understand it, drop your questions on the comment section. So after that, from this point, I'm going to connect it to this 1 inch extension I made on the neck, and I'm going to do so on the other side. So from this point, I'm connecting it like this, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. I'll also connect it like so. Then I'll extend the line on the neck. Then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so for the upper side, I don't need to add any allowance, because when we drafted this pattern, we already added joining allowance at the back, so we don't need any allowance. This is okay for me. I want this upper part to be fitted, so I'm not going to be adding any piece allowance. Okay, so we will get the back and also do the same thing. So this is my back trouser measurement. Sorry, my back trouser pattern. Okay, so I'm going to be modifying it to just like we did for the front. First of all, I'm going to extend my measurements to my side waist to floor. Okay, so I'm using 45 inches. Then I'll connect the line. So after that, I'm going to extend these lines. So the next thing I'm going to do is to come to the neck. I will also come out by 1 inch on both sides, just like I did for the front. Okay, then I'll come to the hemline. I will also come out by 1.5 inches, just like I did for the front. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to determine where I want this basket to start. So for me, I'm marking 15 inches. And I'll connect it like that. So from this point, I will connect to this point. I will do the same thing on this other side. Then I will connect to the hemline like so. this, we are done modifying. Like I told you, we are not adding seam allowance because when we drafted this pattern, we already added sewing allowance. Okay, so this way from here upward will be fitted, so I don't need any modification here. Okay, so guys, I'm done modifying both the back trouser and also the front trouser pattern. So what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to cut out. So from this place my basket is going to start. I'm going to cut out the fitted part. Okay, then I will do the same thing for the back. Okay, let's do it now. So guys, this is my pattern trouser, the ones I cut out. So this is the back and this is the front. Okay, so you notice that for the back, the side that we have the basket, I replicated it. It is 2-piece because you know normally when you want to cut this trouser, you are going to cut it to 2-piece each. So since this side is going to have a basket effect, you will have to cut your pattern paper into 2. Okay, I also cut the side that will have a basket in the front. I replicated it. Okay, so do the same thing for your own, because this side we are going to put the basket effect on our pattern paper, and for this, when we are going to cut it on our fabric, we are going to be cutting it to 2-piece. Okay, I hope you understand. If you don't understand, you drop your questions on the comment section. So this is the basket effect. I've drawn the grid lines with my pencil on my front pattern, and I've also done a basket effect on one side of the front. Okay, you can see how it's looking. So you cut out your pattern like this. This is the second one, and you can see how I drew my grid line is 2 inch apart. Okay, 2 inch apart. Draw your own that way, and you are also going to do the same thing for the back pattern. You also draw your grid line 2 inch. Draw it just like I did for the front. You do it for both sides of the back. Okay, so after that, what you are going to do is to cut out these pieces. Okay, the width is 2 inch. The width of these pieces is 2 inches. Okay, so you cut as many as you can use. Okay, as long as you can. So after doing it, this is the way it's going to look. All you have to do is just grab the fabric you cut out, and you are going to fold it like this, and also fold it like this. So when you fold it like this, you go to your sewing machine and sew it down. So that will give you this stripe that I used to create this basket in one side of the front pattern trouser. Okay, I hope you understand what I explained. So what you will do is to go to your sewing machine. These stripes you cut out, which is 2 inch width, you fold it like this, and you also fold it again, and you go and sew it. Okay, all right, let's go and do it, then I will show you guys the next thing. Okay guys, I've gone ahead to sew my stripe just like I showed you. Then I've also gone ahead to draw my grid line on both sides of my back trouser and the remaining side of my front trouser. Okay, so I've already done this one like I've shown you guys. So I'll go ahead to use this stripe to do the same thing on this one. Okay, so let's go to my sewing machine. So guys, I'm done creating the basket effect on both the front and back trouser. You can see that. Okay, so I'm done creating the basket effect. Go ahead and do your own like that. So for the front trouser, you are going to cut 2 pieces of your material and also 2 pieces of lining. Okay, so why cutting is because we are going to add a band. This band is 2.5 inch height, and the length will be your waist measurement, then plus zipper allowance. So because you are going to put a band, while using this pattern, you have to fold in 2 inches. That will be for the band. Okay, you can see I fold in 2 inch while cutting, and you are also going to do the same thing for the back. Because of the band we are going to add, you are going to fold in that 2 inch on your pattern. Okay, then you also cut 2 pieces of lining for the back and also 2 pieces of material for the back. So the next thing we are going to do is to go ahead and join it. So guys, I am done joining this. Okay, so go ahead and do your own that way. I am done joining both the front and the back with their basket effect. You can see how it's looking. So the next thing I'm going to do is to use my lining to turn it, because you wouldn't want to be seeing these rough edges when you wear your trouser. So what I'm going to do now is to use my lining. I'm going to get the lining of my front pattern. Then this is how I'm going to place it. So I'm placing it like this, so that by the time I sew it, I will turn it over and we will be having neat finishing on the wrong side. So that is the essence of the lining. So you are pinning the lining on top of the wrong side. Okay, so that by the time you sew it, you flip it over to the right side. So this is the wrong side of my fabric. Then I'm pinning the lining on top of it, so that by the time I will go to my sewing machine and sew it, it will now be like this. So that way we have a neat finishing here and also a neat finishing here. So I will do the same thing for the rest. So guys, I have gone ahead to join the lining. So while putting your lining, make sure that your basket effect is in the center. Okay, make sure that your lining is on top of the wrong side. So you can see by the time I flip it like this, you can see we have a neat finishing here, and we also have a neat finishing here. So this is it. So all you have to do is to go to your sewing machine and top stitch round, so that you can hold these 2 pieces together as one. Okay, just go to your sewing machine and top stitch round it, so you can hold these 2 pieces together as one. You do the same thing for the rest. So guys, I've gone ahead to top stitch round my trouser to hold the lining and the main bodies together as one, and this is how beautiful it's looking. So I've done it for every one of them, each of them. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to grab my front pattern, then I'm going to place it right side facing each other, so that I can go to my sewing machine and sew round. So I will place it right side facing each other like this. The front pattern, this is the 2-piece for the front pattern. I'm going to place it right side facing each other. Then I'll go and sew it by 1/2 inch on the crotch line. Okay, I'm just going to sew it like this. Then I'll also do the same thing for the back. I'll place it right side facing each other. I'll pin it down. Then I'll go to my sewing machine and sew it by 4. So guys, you can see that I have joined the back, both back piece together at the crotch line. This is it. And I've also joined both front piece together at the crotch line. And this is it. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to join both of them together. So I'm going to join both front and back piece together. Okay, like this. So you are going to pin it up at the crotch, right side facing each other. I hope you are seeing what I'm doing. So if I pin it up, you can see. Make sure that both center line aligns, okay? So once you pin it up, you are going to go ahead and pin the legs up like this. So we are basically joining both front and back together. So after pinning it up, I hope you can see how I pin it up. I'm going to go to my sewing machine. So I'm going to go to my sewing machine and sew it. I'm going to sew it with 1 inch. So I'll sew it all the way around. Then after that, I'll come back to show you guys. So I've gone ahead to join it at the side. So while joining it, you make sure that these lines align so that you have a neat work. So the next thing you are going to do is to go to your sewing machine and also join the side. So while joining the side, you make sure that both sides align very well. Okay, so you join by the side, you join with 1 inch, then you also join by the side, but we are going to be putting a zipper allowance at one side. So while joining at one side, at the other side, just leave a space of 9 to 10 inches where you are going to join your zip. Okay, I've gone ahead to join both sides of the trouser like I told you guys, and I have also left this place open. It's 10 inch, okay, from my waist. This is where I'll be fixing my zipper allowance. So the next thing I'm going to do is to grab my band. So I'm going to fix my band before I fix my zip. So I'm going to be joining it right side facing each other. Okay, so the band I cut was 2.5 inches on fold. The 1/2 inches is the 1/2 inches I'm going to use to join it to the waist of the trouser, and my band height is 2 inches. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and join my band to my trouser like I show you guys, right side facing each other like this. So after joining my band, then I will put in my zip. I will come to show you guys the way I'm going to put my zip. So guys, I have joined the bands. I will go ahead and join the zip and I will finish it up. Then I will show you guys the outcome. I've joined my zip and this is how beautiful it's looking. So our trouser is ready. All you have to do is to go ahead and tear all these papers out. Tear them out very carefully. Okay, and your beautiful trouser is set. So guys, if you've not subscribed to my channel, kindly do so for more interesting video. Also click on the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. Alright guys, I will put it on and I will show you guys how beautiful this looks. Thank you. Bye.